hello everybody. My name is Lerika. I am a master's student from the University of Pretoria in consumer science. I'm led by the supervision of Dr. Fisher and also Dr. Carmen Miller. Okay, I have some slides. We'll just wait for them to come up. To give you an introduction, okay, there we go. So we've heard a lot about the amount of potatoes that are wasted in our country. The topic of my research is to find a value-added method of let me start again. So it's finding potential value-added uses for the low-graded potatoes, specifically the ugly potatoes, that can add value so that some financial losses can maybe be curbed a little bit. Okay. The research methodology I followed in my study was based on the Harrington's culinary innovation model. So the study is split into 3 phases according to this model. Phase 1 was the culinary innovation formulation stage, which is gathering information about what the market wants to guide the ideas of the products developed. This followed the culinary trend mapping process, which I will go into a little bit of detail in a second. Phase 2 was the culinary innovation implementation stage, which is where I actually developed these products. And then in phase 3, we presented the products to real consumers who tasted the products, gave us their feedback, and whether they were actually interested in purchasing these products if they were available in the market. So, looking at some of the results. First, I did a literature review looking at the 3 products that we were looking to develop. So, it was breakfast foods, ready meals, and also snack food. So for breakfast foods, there's a big demand for portable options, things that you can eat on the go, on the way to work, during your commute. The current options that are available that meet this requirement is things like cereal bars or baked goods, muffins, things like that. So it's very sugar-based, and people are trying to reduce their sugar intake. Then for ready meals, convenience foods is a big market at the moment, and it's just growing with people being increasingly busy and having less and less culinary skills to cook for themselves. However, they are not willing to eat something that doesn't taste good. They're still looking for sensory appeal. So the product needs to balance convenience with also high quality and interest. However, interestingly enough, there's a few ready meals that people keep going back to. Every single time you are in the grocery store, you will see there is definitely a lasagna, there is definitely something like a cottage pie or a pasta. These are options that consumers continually go back to, and they outlast any interesting new products that might be introduced to the market. Then for snack foods, up to 40% of consumers' total daily energy intake consists of meals or snacks eaten outside of their meal times. So they are looking for options that will increase their satiety and also the nutritional value, but they're not willing to sacrifice their enjoyment and their indulgence when consuming these products. So looking at the trend analysis that I did for the study, so when you look at a new trend that is emerging in the food scene, it will start at the top. It will be first implemented at fine dining restaurants. They will try new things, try a different way of doing things, and then that's where it starts. From there, specialty TV food channels and magazines will start reporting on what the fine dining restaurants are doing. And then the mainstream restaurants will start to copy them because they also want to be part of this trend. Then the popular magazines will start to report on what the mainstream restaurants are doing, and then you have your grocery stores adding to that. Okay, so the results of this trend analysis that I did, I focused a lot on sustainability and on health aspects. So are people still interested in eating gluten-free and sugar-free and plant-based meals? So plant-based eating was by far the most popular topic in this study that I did, but there's also still a very high demand for gluten-free products, especially in the convenience market. Sustainability is still at the top of this stage, so it's still in the first stages, still being implemented by fine dining restaurants. I suspect it will gain popularity in coming years. Then if we look at this graph on the screen here, I did a cross-reference with the trend analysis that I did, where I looked at 10 articles from popular trend forecasting websites to see if my findings were in line with industry predictions for 2024. So these are the top mentioned food trends for 2024. the ones highlighted in orange are what I touched on in my study. So the most popular trends at the moment is definitely plant-based eating, beverages, and sustainability. There's also an increase in demand for visible use of vegetables and transparent and clean labeling and mindful eating. Okay, the 3 products that I then decided to develop. Firstly, it was a gluten-free beef and potato lasagna, which used protein flip. So the protein flip is when you want to eat more plant proteins, so you remove some of the animal proteins in your diet and replace them with the plant protein, but not everything, because we still like a little bit of meat. Then I also made the ham and cheese potato breakfast pie, which can be kept frozen and then reheated in the toaster, kind of like a Pop-Tart, but savory, to reduce the sugar content. Then, just to see how far I could push the use of potatoes, I decided to make a peanut butter frozen dessert or an ice cream using potatoes. So if you eat the same amount of ice cream that you normally would, now it has a bunch of potato added, so it is automatically a little bit healthier, a little bit more vegetables, but you still have the delight of eating ice cream, so you're not sacrificing anything. Okay. So during this process, I used only low-graded potatoes, which were supplied by Potato South Africa, so the ugly ones that are still suitable for human consumption. If we look at the breakfast pie, these are sort of the specifications of the product. I also tested it with a smoked chicken alternative to pork so that it's a little bit more accessible. And then I benchmarked the product against current options available in the market, and it does fall in line with the prices that you would expect for something like this. Then if we're looking at the lasagna, I really wish I had access to the flour that they were previously talking about. That would have made my life quite a lot easier, but I still did it. We made some potato gluten-free lasagna, and so the lasagna is a 1 kilogram portion. You have about 4 to 6 portions in one lasagna, which is standard. So originally this recipe used 500 grams of beef mince. I lowered it down to 180 grams. So as you can see, there's a lot of other vegetables making up for that difference now. Again, this is in line with the benchmark for similar products currently available in the market. There's no gluten-free lasagna available in mainstream grocery stores, according to the analysis that I did. Then looking at the ice cream. So as you can see, these are the ratios for the product. Interestingly enough, what I discovered when I started making this is that it melts extremely slowly. So the potato helps to stabilize the product without any other additives or anything necessary. It is very, very stable, doesn't melt. So this is in line, it's a little bit more of a high-end product. It's in line with your ice creams that you can find with added nuts and other ingredients, and that are made properly from a custard base. Okay. Then we did the evaluation and control. So this was where we invited consumers to come and taste these products. So I had 94 consumers from a lot of different ethnic groups and income groups. Everyone come and taste the product and give me their feedback. So first, the participants were given a summary of the product concept. So I explained to them, this is the product that you are going to be tasting. And then I asked them to rate their level of interest in the concepts before they ever tasted it. So that you can see in the top graph there. Then participants were asked to taste the product and again rate how much they liked it. So at first they were a little bit skeptical about the ice cream. I don't understand why. And then after they tasted it, they liked it most of all out of all the 3 products. So that was interesting to see. Then the participants, so from the beginning they were not told that this was a sustainable product or that we were using low-graded or ugly potatoes. They were just told this is the product using potatoes. Then after they've tasted it, we told them, okay, this is the aim of this study. We are looking to increase sustainability. It is using low-grade potatoes. We're aiming to reduce food waste. And then we asked them to rate how likely they were to purchase each product before they knew about the sustainability and after. And the purchase intention for all 3 of the products increased after they were told about the sustainability aspect. So this shows that consumers really are interested in increasing their sustainable footprint. Obviously, factors like price will affect their real market decisions, so there's more study to be done there. So in conclusion, there really is a market for convenience foods. People are interested in buying things that will reduce the amount of time and skill necessary from their side. Low-graded potatoes and ugly potatoes can be used successfully to make these products. Then sustainability as a product quality, if we were to market the products as such, could affect the purchase intentions of the consumers, particularly in the Gen Z group, which is what I tested. But we definitely need further research where we also include other factors such as price to see the overall decision-making will be influenced. So my study stopped there. It was theoretical. We haven't adapted the recipes for factory reproduction, and we also haven't introduced the product to the current market. So that's definitely an area where we might be able to do some future research. Thank you so much.